Hey guys, Henry's Real Fighting Avengers here, and today we're doing a different kind of video today. So I looked up every single EMD locomotive and crammed it into a video. Kind of like Kelly Unit Productions 10 words or less videos. So let's get into every single EMD locomotive reviewed in 20 words or less. I'm guessing this is the one that started EMD's success, and it succeeded? Quirky design for a streamlined box cab. I feel like this cab looks cool, even though I don't know much about box cabs. That light placement is so weird. Neat design in my opinion. I like the design of this, again. The front radiators kind of look like a car. Same train, but longer. No slant on the coaches. Looks weird without a slant on the coaches. The front of this thing literally looks like a car. Well, this time it does. A futuristic mess on wheels. Nice start for streamlined units. Pretty much the same design, but just 6 axles. 8 units in total, only sold to the Santa Fe. Weird nose, and that's all. Mid. Okay, this existed. Literally just a rectangle on wheels. I think this just existed. Nothing can beat a stainless steel E unit. End of the slant nose E units. How did these units produce more than a successor? Very weird. Classic. Nothing more. Classic and underproduced. Turning point for EMD. It's for the better, by the way. This, not so much memorable. This one, I guess. The best one out of all the F units. Mandated passenger variant, I'm guessing. Is this one more powerful or not? I don't know. Mandated passenger variant. The only diesel locomotive to have a steam whistle on it. Weirdest design I have ever seen. It was also known as A Nightmare to Cruise. This looks really familiar to another locomotive. I don't know which one though. Literally looks like it came from another country, like an export locomotive. What is that? Does this look like a 70-ton or 2 wall? Does this give alien vibes at all? The tiniest locomotives you could ever find. Love the design of this. The beginning of the switcher era. Now we have chins on SW switchers. These are equally as great. I think just less horsepower. These are less powerful, but a good successor. Why is that thing super long? Mechanically the same as the SW7, probably a different appearance. This existed. I assume this did too. Literally just looks like a diesel version of the GG1. I'm guessing we're slowly getting out of that chin phase. The only N-series locomotive that we know. Kind of the same length as the TR1, but weirder. What the heck am I looking at? Looks similar to the NW3, but it looks like an Alco design. Why did EMD take the RS part from Alco? More modern design to the SW series. I like it. The design is decent, but what's wrong with the slant at the back of the nose? Back to the old design, but this is the peak. Back to the modern design, still at the peak. So, what was special about these? Again, what in the heck was special about these? Now with AC traction. Turbocharger included now. Gotta love the design of these cowl units. The worst units for Amtrak at that time in the 70s. At least the Metra variants were fine. I at least think it's America's most popular locomotive.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Very sleek cab design. Crazy how they are still surviving to this day. Now with a streamliner cab. These existed, and now all are dead. Quite a boxy design. This is the F-Unit's comeback? Seriously? The first one of its kind. I like it. Just the same design. Why does that look like a tunnel motor? Same here. Why a tunnel motor looking design? Now we have a turbocharger. Also tunnel motor! Nice design, but why only 50 more horsepower to the GP9? Why is there a slanted nose on this locomotive? Nobody even gives a crap about these locomotives. The hood design stands out from all the other general purpose locomotives. Didn't these have electrical issues? These existed. Since 1972, they're still going strong today. Canadian cab now included for safety and comfort. 300 more horsepower to the GP38, but less popular. At least they were more popular than the OG. Stepping stone for a new engine. We almost forgot the Canadian variant. Say it with me now. Mandated passenger variant! Underrated. I question the motor of this. What is that truck design? No idea why the Alaska Railroad would put such weird bells on these locomotives. At least they didn't have the same problems as the SD50. These have a vibe that I cannot describe. Kinda sucks that they were being phased out at the time. A final hurrah for these locomotives. No. No, 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 no! Get these hideous things away from me! Nice start for 6-axle locomotives. The start of EMD's craze for success. Also a failure later on. Now C&O's variants wearing Alco trucks. Odd. So you increased the horsepower and kept the high hood appearance? Start of the standard cab. Also, what were these again? They had electrical issues like their 4-axle counterparts, didn't they? And of course, a mandated passenger variant. How sweet! I'm guessing just more handrails. Now we have AC traction on these, but still mid. Wish they were as popular as their 4-axle counterparts. Mandated passenger variant! I'm sorry, what were these again? This existed. These are really addicted to fuel. Southern Pacific really boosted them up, but the problems remained. So what was the point? Oh my god, not another one of these mandated passenger variants. Just get it away from me. We're coming up to the best workhorse of VMD, and we're all gonna agree on it, right? Is this the last of the mandated passenger variants? Please tell me it is. SD45 with less horsepower and shorter. Now this is America's best workhorse. We're all gonna agree on it, right? What was the point of these? No doubt, the best out of the Canadian cabs. A big old red barn on wheels. The Southern Pacific really was a tunnel motor lover, weren't they? At least these were better than the original. The true poop stain on EMD's reputation and a very bad successor. Canadian cowled variant, but the same problems. This is much better, but not the same for EMD's reputation. The Triclops cap really made a lot of problems happen. Now this is the right cab. Oh man, it's gonna get hot in the cab. I wonder what would have happened if they actually sold. Shame they only went to Norfolk Southern and Conrail. Why were they still DC believers? Now we're getting to AC traction. We're increasing horsepower now?
Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac.
Okay, that is way too much horsepower now. Really wish they went through producing these. When you're still a DC believer, really wish they came out first with the isolated cab, then CSX wouldn't have sold them to Progress Rail. Cool cab design, but an underwhelming locomotive. I like the design, and I like the thought of battery locomotives. This is a very ugly way to bring back the SD40.